What if I told you that everything you've ever wanted is just 4 words away? Not money, not luck, not connections, just 4 simple words. But here's the catch. Most people will hear them and still never use them because they sound too simple, too quiet, too powerful. And that's exactly why you were never supposed to know. Today, I'm going to tell you those 4 words. But once you hear them, you cannot go back to being the same person again. The struggle, the pain, the truth, let's be real for a moment. You've tried everything, haven't you? You've set goals, you've made plans, you've written things down, promised yourself. This time will be different. You woke up early. You pushed yourself. You even stepped out of your comfort zone. And for a while, it felt like you were finally getting somewhere. But then something shifted. You slowed down, you got distracted, you started overthinking again, and suddenly you were right back where you started. It's exhausting, isn't it? That feeling of constantly trying, but never truly arriving. That quiet frustration that builds inside you when nothing seems to stick. You begin to question everything. Am I doing something wrong? Why does it seem so easy for others? Why do I keep failing at the same point? And the worst part, you don't always say it out loud. But deep inside, a small voice whispers, maybe I'm just not meant for more. That thought is dangerous because once it enters your mind, it doesn't just stay there. It grows, it shows up when you hesitate. It shows up when you doubt your decisions. It shows up when you're about to take a risk and you pull back at the last second. And before you know it, you are not even trying the way you used to. You start playing small. You start settling. You start convincing yourself that this is enough. But deep down, you know it's not. You feel it. That tension inside your chest, that restlessness, that quiet voice saying, you were made for more than this, so what's really going on? Why does it feel like no matter how hard you try, something invisible keeps holding you back? It's not your effort. It's not your talent. It's not even your circumstances. It's your inner conversation, the way you speak to yourself when no one is around. Because whether you realize it or not, you are constantly giving instructions to your mind. Every thought, every doubt, every silent sentence you repeat becomes a command. When things don't work out, you tell yourself, see, I knew it wouldn't happen. When you make a mistake, you think, I always mess things up. When you see someone else succeed, you whisper, that's not for people like me. And your mind, it doesn't argue. It doesn't question. It simply listens and then builds your reality around those beliefs. That's the truth most people never confront. You're not stuck because life is unfair. You're not behind because others are ahead. You're stuck because the voice inside your head has been working against you this entire time. And until that voice changes, nothing else will. The secret, the shift, the power now, listen carefully. Because this is where everything begins to change. Not on the outside, but on the inside. The 4 words that can reshape your reality are simple, so simple that most people ignore them. It is already mine. Say it slowly. It is already mine. Feel the weight of it. Because these are not just words. This is a shift in identity. Most people live their lives in a state of wanting. I want success. I want money. I want happiness. But every time you say, I want, you are reinforcing the fact that you don't have it. You are training your mind to stay in lack. And your mind will always act in alignment with that feeling. That's why nothing changes. But the moment you say, it is already mine, everything flips. You are no longer chasing. You are claiming. You are no longer hoping. You are deciding. And that decision is powerful because your mind doesn't respond to reality. It responds to repetition and belief. If you repeat something with enough emotion, enough certainty, your mind begins to accept it as truth. And once your mind accepts it, your behavior follows. Think about it. If you truly believed that success was already yours, would you hesitate the same way? Would you doubt yourself before taking action? Would you procrastinate, or would you move with urgency? You already know the answer. You would move differently. You would speak differently. You would think differently. You would think differently. You would carry yourself with a quiet confidence that others can feel, even if they can't explain it. That's the real power of these 4 words. They don't magically change your life overnight. They change you. And when you change, your life has no choice but to follow. But there's something deeper you need to understand. These words only work if they are protected. You don't go around announcing them. You don't seek validation from people who don't understand your vision. Because the moment you expose your belief to doubt, it weakens. People will question you. They'll laugh. They'll tell you to be realistic. And if you're not careful, their doubt will become your doubt. That's why this is personal. This is silent. This is between you and your mind. You say it in the morning. You say it at night. You say it when fear creeps in. You say it when things aren't going your way, especially then, because that's when your old beliefs try to come back. And in those moments, you remind yourself it is already mine, not because you can see it, but because you've decided it. And then you back it up with action, you show up, you stay consistent, you keep going, even when it's hard. Because deep down, you're no longer working towards something. You're working from it, from belief, from certainty, from identity. And that is where real transformation begins. So now you know the secret. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Will you hear these words and forget them tomorrow? Or will you actually use them and change your life forever? Tonight, before you sleep, say it, feel it, believe it. It is already mine. And don't tell anyone, not your friends, not your family, not even the people closest to you. Let your results speak. Let your transformation shock them. And when your life starts shifting, when things begin to fall into place, when you finally become the person you always knew you could be, come back to this moment, because this is where it started. If this message hit you, don't ignore it. Carry it with you. And remember, the life you want isn't coming someday. It is already yours.